Good morning, it is Jane with my cat Kilgore. No, his name is Rooney. He does this quite frequently. He has to see what's going on and get it in the middle of things. Today's Bible reading is Deuteronomy 1 through 3. I want to remind everybody that we are reading the Message Bible. We are also using the Seville Daily Reading Plan, which also has Sunday off for reading so that you can focus on the sermon that your preacher, pastor has given. So let's get into the reading. Get my eyeballs on. These are the sermons Moses preached to all Israel when they were east of the Jordan River in the Arabah wilderness, opposite Suf in the vicinity of Paran, Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizahab. It takes 11 days to travel from Horeb to Kadesh Barnea, following the Mount Seir route. It was on the first day of the 11th month of the 40th year when Moses addressed the people of Israel, telling them everything God had commanded him concerning them. This came after he had defeated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who ruled from Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, who ruled from Ashtaroth and Edrei. It was east of the Jordan in the land of Moab that Moses set out to explain this revelation. He said, "Back at Horeb, God, our God, spoke to us. You've stayed long enough at this mountain. On your way now. Get moving. Head for the Amorite hills, wherever people are living in the Arabah, the mountains, the foothills, the Negev, the seashore, the Canaanite country, and the Lebanon, all the way to the big river, the Euphrates. Look, I've given you this land. Now go in and take it. It's a land God promised to give your ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their children after them. At the time I told you, I can't do this, can't carry you all by myself. God, your God, has multiplied your numbers. Why, look at you. You rival the stars in the sky. And may God, the God of your fathers, keep it up and multiply you another 1,000 times. Bless you just as he promised. But how can I carry all this myself? Your troubles and burdens and quarrels. So select some wise, understanding, and seasoned men from your tribes, and I will commission them as your leaders." You answered me, "Good, a good solution." So I went ahead and took the top men of your tribes, wise and seasoned, and made them your leaders of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens, officials adequate for each of your tribes. At the same time, I gave orders to your judges. Listen carefully to complaints and accusations between your fellow Israelites. Judge fairly between each person and his fellow or foreigner. Don't play favorites. Treat the little and the big alike. Listen carefully to each. Don't be impressed by big names. This is God's judgment you're dealing with. Hard cases you can bring to me. I'll deal with them. I issued orders to you at that time regarding everything you would have to deal with. Then we set out for Moab and headed for the Amorite hill country, going through that huge and frightening wilderness that you've had more than an eyeful of by now, all under the command of God, our God, and finally arrived at Kadesh Barnea. There I told you you've made it to the Amorite hill country, that God our God is giving us. Look, God your God has placed this land as a gift before you. Go ahead and take it now. God, the God of your fathers, promised it to you. Don't be afraid. Don't lose heart. But then you all came to me and said, Let's send some men on ahead to scout out the land for us and bring back a report on the best route to take and the kinds of towns we can expect to find." That seemed like a good idea to me. So I picked 12 men, one from each tribe. They set out, climbing through the hills. They came to the Eshcol Valley and looked it over. They took samples of the produce of the land and brought them back to us, saying, "It's a good land that God, our God, is giving us." Sorry, the allergies are bad today. "But then you weren't willing to go up. You rebelled against God, your God's plain word. You complained in your tents. God hates us. He hauled us out of Egypt in order to dump us among the Amorites, a death sentence for sure. How can we go up? We're trapped in a dead end. Our brothers took all the wind out of our sails, telling us. The people are bigger and stronger than we are. Their cities are huge. Their defenses massive. And we even saw Anakite giants there. I tried to relieve your fears. Don't be terrified of them. God, your God, is leading the way. He's fighting for you. You saw with your own eyes what he did for you in Egypt. You saw what he did in the wilderness, how God, your God, carried you as a father carries his child, carried you the whole way until you arrived here. But now that you're here, you won't trust God, your God. This same God who goes ahead of you in your travels to scout out a place to pitch camp, a fire by night and a cloud by day, to show you the way to go. When God heard what you said, he exploded in anger. He swore, "Not a single person of this evil generation is going to get so much as a look at the good land that I promised to give to your parents. Not one, except for Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He'll see it. I'll give him and his descendants a land he walked on, because he was all for following God, heart and soul. But I also got it. Because of you, God's anger spilled over onto me. He said, 'You aren't getting in either. Your assistant, Joshua, son of Nun, will go in. Build up his courage. He's the one who will claim the inheritance for Israel. And your babies, of whom you said, they'll be grabbed for plunder, and all these little kids who right now don't even know right from wrong. They'll get in. I'll give it to them. Yes, they will be the new owners, but not you. Turn around and head back into the wilderness, following the route to the Red Sea. You spoke up. We've sinned against God. We'll go up and fight, following all the orders that God, our God, has commanded. You took your weapons and dressed for battle. You thought it would be so easy going into these hills. But God told me, tell them, don't do it. Don't go up to fight. I'm not with you in this. Your enemies will waste you. I told you, but you wouldn't listen. You rebelled at the plain word of God. You threw out your chest and strutted into those hills. And those Amorites, who had lived in those hills all their lives, swarmed all over you like a hive of bees, chasing you from Seir all the way to Hormah, a stinging defeat. You came back and wept in the presence of God, but he didn't pay a bit of attention to you. God didn't give you the time of day. You stayed there in Kadesh a long time, about as long as you had stayed there earlier. Then we turned around and went back into the wilderness, following the route to the Red Sea as God had instructed me. We worked our way in and around the hills of Seir for a long, long time. Then God said, "You've been going around in circles in these hills long enough. Go north. Command the people you're about to cut through the land belonging to your relatives, the people of Esau who settled in Seir. They are terrified of you, but restrain yourselves. don't try and start a fight. I'm not giving you so much as a square inch of their land. I've already given up all the hill country of Seir to Esau. He owns it all. Pay them up front for any food or water you get from them. God, your God, has blessed you in everything you have done. He has guarded you in your travels through this immense wilderness. For 40 years now, God, your God, has been right there with you. You haven't lacked a thing. So we detoured around our brothers, the people of Esau who live in Seir, avoiding the Arabah road that comes up from Elath and Ezion Geber. Instead, we used the road through the wilderness of Moab. God told me, and don't try to pick a fight with the Moabites. I'm not giving you any of their land. I've given ownership of Ar to the people of Lot. The Emites, monsters, used to live there, mobs of hulking giants, like Anakites. Along with the Anakites, they were lumped in with the Rephaites, ghosts, but in Moab they were called Emites. Horites also used to live in Seir, but the descendants of Esau took over and destroyed them, the same as Israel did in the land God gave them to possess. God said, it's time now to cross the brook Zered. So we crossed the brook Zered. It took us 38 years to get from Kadesh Barnea to the brook Zered. That's how long it took for the entire generation of soldiers from the camp to die off, as God had sworn they would. God was relentless against them, till the last one was gone from the camp. When the last of these soldiers had died, God said to me, this is the day you cut across the territory of Moab at Ar. When you approach the people of Ammon, don't try and pick a fight with them, because I'm not giving you any of the land of the people of Ammon for yourself. I've already given it to the people of Lot. It is also considered to have once been the land of the Rephaites. The Rephaites lived there long ago. The Ammonites called them Zamzumites, barbarians, huge mobs of them, giants like the Anakites. God destroyed them and the Ammonites moved in, took over. It was the same with the people of Esau who lived in Seir. God got rid of the Horites who lived there earlier, and they moved in and took over, as you can see. Regarding the Avites who lived in the villages as far as Gaza, the Caphtorites who came from Caphtor, Crete, wiped them out and moved in. On your feet now, get started. Cross the brook Arnon. Look, here's Sihon, the Amorite king of Heshbon, and his land. I'm handing it over to you. It's all yours. Go ahead, take it. Go to war with him. Before the day is out, I'll make sure that all the people around here are thoroughly terrified. Rumors of you are going to spread like wildfire. They'll totally panic. From the wilderness of Kedemoth, I send messengers to Sihon, king of Heshbon. They carried a friendly message. Let me cross through your land on the highway. I'll stay right on the highway. I won't trespass right or left. I'll pay you for any food or water we might need. Let me walk through. People of Esau who lived in Seir and the Moabites who live in Ar did this, helping me on my way until I can cross the Jordan and enter the land that God, our God, is giving us. But Sihon, king of Heshbon, wouldn't let us cross his land. God, your God, turned his spirit mean and his heart hard so he could hand him over to you, as you can see that he has done. Then God said to me, look, I've got the ball rolling. Sihon and his land are soon yours. Go ahead, take it. It's practically yours. So Sihon and his entire army confronted us at the battle at Jahaz. God handed him, his sons, and his entire army over to us, and we utterly crushed them. While we were at it, we captured all his towns and totally destroyed them. A holy destruction. Men, women, and children. No survivors. We took the livestock and plunder from the towns we had captured and carried them off for ourselves from Aurora on the edge of the brook Arnon and the town in the gorge as far as Gilead. Not a single town proved too much for us. God, our God, gave us every last one of them to us. The only land you didn't take, obeying God's command, was the land of the people of Ammon, the land among the Jabbok and around the cities in the hills. Then we turned north and took the road to Bashan. Og, king of Bashan, he and all his people, came out to meet us at the battle at Edrei. God said to me, "Don't be afraid of him. I'm turning him over to you along with his whole army and his land. Treat him the way you treated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who ruled from Heshbon." So God, our God, also handed Og, king of Bashan, over to us, Og and all his people, and we utterly crushed them. Again, no survivors. At the same time, we took all his cities. There wasn't one of the 60 cities that we didn't take, the whole region of Argob, Og's kingdom, in Bashan. All these cities were fortress cities with high walls and barred gates. There were also numerous unwalled villages. We totally destroyed them, a holy destruction. It was the same treatment we gave to Sihon, king of Heshbon, a holy destruction of every city, man, woman, and child. But all the livestock and plunder from the cities we took for ourselves. Throughout that time we took the land from under the control of the 2 kings of the Amorites, who ruled the country east of the Jordan, all the way from the brook Arnon to Mount Hermon. Sirion is the name given Hermon by the Sidonians. The Amorites call it Senir. We took all the towns of the plateau, everything in Gilead, everything in Bashan as far as Selecah and Edrei, the border towns of Bashan, Og's kingdom. Og, king of Bashan, was the last remaining Rephahite. His bed, made of iron, was over 30 feet long and 6 wide. You can still see it on display in Rabbah of the people of Ammon. Of the land that we possessed at that time, I gave the Reubenites and the Gadites territory north of Arar along the brook Arnon, and half the hill country of Gilead with its towns. I gave the half-tribe of Manasseh the rest of Gilead and all of Bashan, Og's kingdom, all the region of Argob, which takes in all of Bashan. This used to be known as the land of the Rephahites. Jair, a son of Manasseh, got the region of Argob to the borders of the Geshurites and the Mahakathites. He named the Bashan villages after himself, Havoth Jair, Jair's tent villages. They're still called that. I gave Gilead to Machir. I gave the Reubenites and Gadites the land from Gilead down to the brook Arnon, whose middle was the boundary, and as far as the Jabbok River, the boundary line of the people of Ammon. The western boundary was the Jordan River and the Arabah, all the way from Kinnereth, the Sea of Galilee, to the Sea of the Arabah, the Salt Sea or Dead Sea, at the base of the slopes of Mount Pisgah on the east. I commanded you at that time, God, your God, has given you this land to possess. Your men, fit and armed for the fight, are to cross the river in advance of their brothers, the people of Israel. Only your wives, children, and livestock, I know you have much livestock, may go ahead and settle down in the towns. I have already given you until God secures living space for your brothers, as he has for you, and they have taken possession of the country west of Jordan, that God your God is giving them. After that, each man may return to the land I've given you here. I commanded Joshua at that time, you've seen with your own 2 eyes everything God, your God, has done. To these 2 kings, God is going to do the same thing to all the kingdoms over there. Cross the river where you're headed. Don't be afraid of them. God, your God, He's fighting for you. At the same time, I begged God, God my master, you let me in on the beginnings. You let me see your greatness. You let me see your might. What God in heaven or earth can do anything like what you've done? Please let me in also on the endings. Let me cross the river and see the good land over the Jordan, the lush hills, the Lebanon mountains. But God was still angry with me because of you. He wouldn't listen. He said, enough of that. Not another word from you on this. Climb to the top of Mount Pisgah and look around. Look west, north, south, east. Take in the land with your own eyes. Take a good look, because you're not going to cross this Jordan. Then command Joshua, give him courage, give him strength. Single-handed he will lead this people across the river. Single-handed he'll cause them to inherit the land at which you can only look. That's why we have stayed in this valley near Beth Peor. And that is it for this Bible reading. I think out of this, one of the biggest things we have to look forward to is to know that our God is fighting for us. All right, I will see you again tomorrow. Everybody have a blessed day. And definitely get into the Word today on your own if you can. See you again tomorrow. Bye.